Here we have an array, and it has these values in it. Right? If you're not aware, there's two ways to create an array. You could say new int bracket bracket with the number of elements you want here. This will create an array of size 3, initialize all the values to 0, and place it into the variable num array. Another way you can create an array is you could do this, which will create an array with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 elements that are these values, right? So that's what I did. And so now we want to try to find the maximum value in the array, right? So how would we do that? Well, we need to create a variable called max, and we're going to set it equal to the first value in the array, is equal to num array bracket 0. Because when we're just considering only the first value in the array, it is the maximum and it is the minimum value. It's both of them, right? And then when we consider the next one, that may change, and then when we consider the third one, that may change again, and so on, right? So in the beginning, the first value is the maximum, it is the minimum, it's everything. So now we're going to iterate through the array, but we're not going to start at 0 because our max is the 0 element, right? So we don't want to compare the 2 with itself. We're going to compare the 2 with the 5. So that's why we're going to start the I at 1, and then we're going to say I is less than max.length, and then I++. And what do we do now? So now we need to have an if statement. We need to check, right? And what are we going to check? We're going to say if max is greater than num array bracket I. Yeah. So if num array is greater than bracket I, then we're going to say max is equal to num array bracket I. Right? And then at the end, I'm going to system.out.println, and I'm going to print out the max value is, and I'm going to print out max. Okay. So this is the max algorithm. How does it work? We have an array with a certain set of values. We set max equal to the first value in the array, namely the 2. So I'm going to go ahead and jot a 2 down right here. This for loop is starting with I is equal to 1, right? And so when we come in here for the first iteration of the for loop, we're checking if 2 is greater than num array bracket 1, and num array bracket 1 is the 5, right? Because our array is indexed starting at 0. So this is the 0 element, the 1 element. So we're comparing max and 5, and max contains the 2, the 0 element. So we're saying is 2 greater than 5? Oh, actually this is wrong. This should be the other way around, like that. Is max less than num array, right? So is 2 less than 5? Yes, it is less than 5. So then we're going to redefine max to be equal to 5. So it's no longer 2 anymore, it's now 5. Right? The for loop's going to iterate, I is going to increment to 2, and then it's going to go ahead and check is 5 less than 1, the 2 element. Right? That's not true, so it does not do this. Max stays the same. It iterates again. I increments to 3, and then we're true here, so we're going to come in and we're going to say is 5 less than 7, right? The 3 element, or the element with the index of 3, is the 7. So is 5 less than 7? That's true, so we're going to reset max equal to num array bracket I, namely this value 7. And we'll iterate again. It's going to check is 7 less than 5, not true, so it doesn't do the if. We'll iterate again. It'll check is 7 less than 7, not true, so it doesn't do anything. Iterates again. It checks is 7, the max, less than num array bracket I, which is now we're at 10, and that's true, so we're going to set max equal to 10. We'll iterate again the last time, and it checks is 10 less than 3. Not true, so it doesn't do this. So after the for loop is finished iterating through the array, max is going to contain the largest value in the array. Right? Why? Because it's comparing every value with itself, and if any of the values in the array are bigger than itself, then it resets its value to that bigger value. Right? And at the end, we can print out the maxes. So now the check for understanding is how would you modify this algorithm to check for the minimum value in the array. So, maybe you can pause it here and think about it, and the answer is we're going to change this variable to min. We're going to change that to min, that to min, and that to min. We're going to change that to min. And so the only thing that needs to change here is if min is greater than the value in the array, because if it is greater than the value in the array, then that means the value in the array is the smallest value so far that we've checked, right? And we're going to reset min to be that smaller value that we so far have checked. So anyhow, this is how you would check for the minimum value in an array. And then previously is how you would check for the maximum value in the array. This algorithm is used all the time, so it's something that you have to be familiar with and be able to reproduce in different situations.